1. Hello everyone. Welcome to Ed Talk TV, Conversations Worth Having. I hope you're having a fantastic Monday. It has been busy over here, but it has been all good. Oh my goodness. There's so much goodness on a Monday. It's just crazy. If this is your first time joining, welcome. Please jump into the comments, even if you're watching the replay, and let us know who you are and how your day is going. If you are a returning visitor, just like Sista just did, you're going to comment because you know what to do. You know to show up, deliver, and engage with us. For those who are new, let me just give you a quick rundown. My name is Ed Troxel. I am your host. We go live here on the business page 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Oftentimes, it will just be me, but I encourage you guys to become guests. All that information is over at checkwithed.com. I'll share that in a second to show you what I mean. If you're new, brand new to me, basically I am your tech-savvy business strategist who helps overwhelmed business owners get organized and overcome today's tech challenges so that they can keep moving and show up, deliver, and engage with their audiences here online. So all of that and more you can find over on my website, checkwithed.com, and we'll do a quick screen share of that in just a second. But I want to welcome everyone jumping in. Today we are going to be talking about community. But not just about community, but like really how you can narrow down your focus and overcome the Facebook group overwhelm. Now, some of you might have been on a live earlier today. I shared it on the page here, and you may or may not have seen it because you know how Facebook is. But earlier today I was with Susan, and she actually invited me to be a guest expert. So we covered a whole thing around community, which is awesome. So much. How many of you guys were there? Let me know, even if you're watching the replay, in the comments. It was so good, and we talked all about community and really how you can find yours, and there's so many other nuggets, because you guys know, for those who follow me all the time, you know that I share way more than I should be in terms of the golden nuggets, and so there was a lot dropped there. I'm going to go ahead and share a post, or share a link to that post right here. In the comments. So that's on my website. I just popped that in there for you guys in case you want a direct link to the video. That will take you to the broadcast Susan had. But it was really great, and it inspired me to switch things up today. And hey, sister, welcome back. Yeah, go back and look it up because it's really a good one for you guys. And that inspired me to move some things around today for what I was going to share and kind of keep that conversation going, because we had a lot of engagement on that, and we talked a lot about the overwhelm that a lot of you, myself included, will get when we are on Facebook and when it comes to Facebook groups. So I want to help you narrow that stuff down. So my goal is to hopefully have this be a shorter episode. I'm going to try to work on having shorter episodes. I know some of you guys are like, oh, why, Ed? We just need to. I know typically it goes for an hour, but that's a lot, and we just need to kind of start narrowing things down and shift some things around. So there's that. We're going to jump into random news. Before we do, I am going to share my screen just so you guys can see. This is my website. Once you go to checkwithed.com, it will bring you here. If you're not already on the email list, all you got to do is punch in your name and email. Boom. You get a weekly email. Well, you'll get a welcome series saying hello, and it's a nice little way for us to get to know each other, and some free training. But then you also get a weekly update of where I'm at, what I'm doing, and all of the episodes of Ed Talk TV and more. So you want to definitely be up for that. But what I did do at the bottom in the footer, to make it easier for all of you guys who want to become guest experts, I did add some links for you. So if we get all the way to the bottom, once my computer catches up, come on, there we go. At the very bottom, you'll see here, there are two guest request options for you. The one that you typically hear about is Ed Talk TV, and that's what we're doing right now. And this is where you would be able to come onto the show and be a guest expert to share your knowledge with my audience and really network and really get out there. So that's one option for you. And then for those who don't know, I have a community called Hey Ed, and that is a business and tech support community for business owners. And that is where you basically get all your questions answered around business and tech. I know it's a lot. It's awesome. It's so awesome. And it speaks for itself. Like, I can't tell you how good this is because you probably wouldn't believe me. You'd be like, okay, well, I know, but it's your thing, Ed. No, like literally when you see the responses from people, from the members, like it blows me away every single day and it's amazing. So I did just create a guest request form for that because we do have guest trainings, which a lot of you who are following the page, if you haven't followed the page, you can do that later. A lot of you who are following the business page here on Facebook have asked to see some of those trainings. Not to actually see the trainings, but to see a list of the trainings, which I did put out on the Facebook page yesterday. We have a lot, and I didn't even count all of them. I think there's like two handfuls I put in the post, and that was about it because I was like, there's just too many trainings to share with everyone in one long post. Like, they can get the picture. So understand, like, we do the work and we get things done, and it's just been awesome. And Deirdre and Assista, you guys have been awesome. Deirdre just did an awesome work. She did awesome work with a project she's working on, and I'm really proud of her for going through the tech, and you got it. You did it. So well done. So that's there for you guys. If you know anybody who would be great for guest experts for either category, please send them to the website, and it's right there in the footer for them. So there's that. Now, imagine having the job where you're on a boat and you're over there delivering mail, but you're not just delivering mail with the boat. You're also delivering the mail and jumping to deliver the mail and hurrying back to get onto the boat. Have you guys seen this? Isn't this crazy? I'm not going to play the whole video, but this was on the news recently, and this is a real thing. This is a job. These kids are mail boat jumpers, and they go all around the island here in, Lake Geneva. And this is basically their thing. This is what they do over there. And it's a whole competitive, kind of competitive. I mean, it's all about the exercise and jumping on the boat and jumping off and like, when are you going to make it? And the whole time thing. From a fitness perspective, I'm really actually wanting to do this. This, I think, would be fun. I don't know. What do you guys think? From what you guys see here, would you want to give this a shot and just play? Let's see if I can fast forward to, sometimes it works for people, and sometimes you get left behind, like this girl wasn't quick enough for that round, but they keep going, and they keep trying. And then let's see, was this the one? No. There was one where they fell into the water, and I loved how at the end here, let's see, I'm going to play it. Does it say? I think it says it in the... Oh, they didn't say it in text, but at the end there, they talk about how it's not just about going and being left behind or not making it back to the boat, right? It's about getting back up and trying again. And you'd have to watch the video at the end there to really understand what they were saying, because the word for word was really on point. I really appreciated that. But that's what it's about. It's about really just starting, getting out there, and just because you missed the boat, or you fell, or you didn't understand the tech, or you couldn't get XYZ for whatever time slot you were working on, it's okay. You'll figure it out. You'll move on. That's the whole point of the game, is figuring out where your tools and resources are. Who can you reach out to? What comes next, and why you need to have a plan. So let's talk about narrowing things down, okay? Because Facebook groups, how many of you guys, let's just start there. How many of you are in Facebook groups right now? Let me know in the comments, even if you're watching the replay. Of those who are in Facebook groups, how many of you guys are overwhelmed with the Facebook groups? Let me know in the comments. And bonus points if you tell me why you're overwhelmed. Bonus points. Anybody want bonus points today on a Monday? By the way, if you're new, when you go live, always have some water because you get dehydrated quickly. And especially when you're in a room and it's hot outside and you don't have AC, you definitely get hot. Yep, so some of you guys, you guys are in Facebook groups and you're saying yes, perfect. Replay viewers, make sure to answer that too. So when it comes to these Facebook groups, I don't know too much, most everything I need. Yeah. When it comes to these Facebook groups, it's one of those things that they're free, so everyone runs to them and creates them, which is fine. We want our little communities. We want our little spot on the internet, which is great, to provide more resources and, let's be honest, to hopefully connect more with people because of the news feed and our pages and all of that. But it's really hard because there's so much, and there's a group for everything, and it can be very overwhelming, especially if you're in multiple groups. And so let me just see the comments. Don't have much time for Facebook groups when there's a ton of content to create and clients to woo. Yeah, exactly. That's the other hard part. You have the Facebook groups that you kind of want to be in or that you are in, but you also have to do your work, which is the client work and being able to market and put out the content and everything. So you have to find that balance if you want to do it all. And it's difficult. And so what I'm suggesting for you to try and to really work with is, one, let me just tell you right off the bat, because this might help relieve some of that anxiety and some of that stress of being in Facebook groups. Let me just put it out there that I give you permission to not have to show up every day or every week or every month in those Facebook groups. Yes, it is okay if you aren't showing up all the time. Now, some of you might be like, well, duh. I don't know. Why would I have to have that permission, Ed? Because some of us need to hear it from somebody else. Because there are a lot of Facebook groups where it feels like you have to be there. You have to show up. You have to be able to post something or engage in other posts. And it shouldn't be a have to. It should be a want to, right? And if you're busy, you're busy, so you can't always show up. And we were having that conversation with Susan's live earlier today, where it's one of those things that there are some Facebook groups that I don't go into, I'm a part of, but I don't have to go in there unless I have an issue. Meaning that they're kind of support groups for programs. Or maybe there's an update that pops up and they share that information in there. And then that's when I comment. And that's when I say thank you, But I'm not in there every day. I'm not in there every week or even every month. Some groups I haven't actually gone to the feed of that group for probably 6 months. But it doesn't mean I have to leave them. I could, but it doesn't mean I have to. And so it's one of those things that I want you to understand, that when you join these groups, you're going to get a little click happy. I call it click happy. Roll with it, right? Click happy, because you're like, yes, I want to join that one. I want to join this and that and that. And then you realize you've joined 20 groups and you're like, oh, when am I going to have time for all this? How am I going to do this? I have work to do, but I want to be in these groups. So then you feel bad because you don't want to leave the groups, because then you're afraid of missing out. Or maybe I was having this discussion with a member inside Hey Ed. We were talking about how, leaving the group kind of feels bad if it was a friend who, it's a friends group, or, somebody really encouraged you to get into there. And so leaving might be a little awkward for you. You can mute the group. You can just put it on the back burner and just not follow everything that comes on. Like as soon as you get a notification from one of these groups and you're like, it's not for me, turn off the notifications. That's the first thing to do. The second thing to do is start pinning the groups that you go to, the shortcuts, I call them. Start pinning the groups that you're most interested in. So like I have I have almost 9 groups in my favorites that are sorted there, and those are the ones that I really focus on. So that way, if they're not showing up in my news feed, because you know how Facebook is, Then I can individually go to them and see how many updates have been there, because it tells you the notification on each bubble. And then I can just quickly go in there and browse. But that's when I can make that dedicated time to do that. So when you are getting click happy, that's fine. Do that. We're going to do that. It's normal. But then understand you got to bring it back, and you got to start realizing what are the groups that you really need to pay attention to. 1 to 3 maybe. I always like to say 1 to 3. You might make it more like 5, and that's okay, but try to get closer to the 1 to 3 rule and figure out which ones you really want to pay attention to that you need to have on your radar. Maybe you're working on a new program, or you're in a new program for, let's say, like I'm part of the Dubsado Facebook group. I love Dubsado, and I have them, and I use them all the time. So I leave my notifications turned on for Dubsado's group because I'm using the program all the time. They're always coming out with updates in terms of new features and having great discussions in there. So I don't want to miss out on that. Now, I may not participate in that all the time, but I still want to be able to see that in my feed. And so I leave the notifications turned on. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of those things that be picky with which ones you follow and which ones you really want to engage with. And then make notes, you guys. Make notes on like the days that you have a little more time maybe to go ahead in there and engage and, check in on a few posts. And what will be beneficial for you and other people in that group, including the leaders of that group, is to actually engage. Like literally find a post or 2 or 3 or whatever, however much time you have, that you read, and then leave a comment. Great post. This is what I needed. Follow-up question. Whatever it may be. But just post something, because then that helps you get out there as well. And then that starts the conversation. And then you don't know where that's going to lead to. That could lead to your next client. That could lead to your next guest expert. Start thinking in that way. But I really want you to start breaking these down and start narrowing things down and really blocking out time for this. So if you know that you have to create content and that you're working with your clients and that you have all these other things to do, then what you're going to do is you're going to set aside 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes a day, every other day, every week, whatever your schedule looks like. But you're going to block out some time to do that, just like you block out time right now to watch me, right? You're following me for a reason. You're tuning into my content for a reason. You're commenting, you're sharing, all for a reason, which tells me that I'm obviously doing something right and that you're getting some knowledge, some value out of this, which means I should keep doing this, right? So that's the whole point. It's a whole, like we all have to work together. Teamwork equals success. So you really want to make sure that you're doing that. And to fight the overwhelm, remind yourself that you don't have to show up to every group every day. Remind yourself that some groups are only there to support you when you need that support. And if you're in a group that is like really feeling like they're pressuring you, then you have to stop and think, should you really be a part of that? Because do you really need that pressure? Think about all the rules that might be in that group. Think about who is in that group and how are they engaging? Is it spammy? I won't name names, but I signed up to be in one of these, it's like a massive Facebook group where you can basically promote your business, and it had some good info in terms of the details, which is why I joined it. And then I let it ride for about 2 weeks and I kind of monitored it. And while there was some real people in there that actually were trying to do the same thing with, like I was, like connect and network, most of it was spam. And so I already knew, like I kind of knew at the beginning, but I said, okay, let me give it a shot. I made that note, and I kept seeing a few posts that were pretty sketchy. And then I thought, you know what? It's not even worth it. I'm done. Bye. And then I left the group. So it's okay to do that. It's okay to monitor and do things like that. Don't feel bad. It's normal. You have to figure out what works for you. And if you're trying to figure out what community to be a part of, like what groups to be a part of, whether free or paid, it doesn't matter, then the way you start is by seeing who you follow. Who are you following? Who are you listening to? Who are you picking up content from? Like, where's that, like, oh, that light bulb. Yes, that clicked for me. Oh, I feel like this person gets me. I'm vibing out with this person. Like they know me. They know what I need. They just gave me what I needed. Like, this is awesome. Those are the keys. Those are the little key indicators that you want to start thinking about and really following through with. And then that will help you narrow down your focus. And it doesn't have to be just Facebook groups. Like, I led with that today, but this applies to anything. Email newsletters. You guys, I've been click happy with email newsletters forever. And then finally I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can unsubscribe from this one. I don't need this one anymore. I don't ever open this one. So why am I being on their list? You know, it's not helping me and it's not helping them. You have to remember that too when it comes to email marketing. If you're on someone's list and you never open up their email, bye. Unsubscribe. You're not going to hurt their feelings. You're doing them a favor. You're saving time and another email stress from your inbox, but you're also saving them from having false numbers, thinking that they have so many people on their list, but yet they're not opening them, right? So understand that we all have to work together, and really it's okay to not have to be there all the time, just like it's okay for you not to create content all the time. Whole nother one, but you know how I am. I always have to drop something extra in there. So I hope that helps in terms of helping you relax a little bit, letting you know that you need to narrow things down and to keep an eye out on those things. In the comments, I put both links lead to my website, but the one link that I put in there for the broadcast I did with Susan earlier today, that's a direct link there, so then that way you guys can see more about that, because that was really good about community. And that's what I have for you today. Like I said, I want to keep it short, and we're going to try to start doing a little bit shorter ones, because I want to be respectful of everyone's time, including mine, but I know that it can be, we share so much and it's good, but it's also, it's a lot. And so I want to try to cut down on that, and see where it goes. So you're always testing, like I tell you, you're always testing, okay? So I hope you guys have a great day and evening, morning, wherever you're at, and we will see you back here, same time, same place, tomorrow. Take care. What is the Hey Ed community? I'll let them tell you.
I'm drawn to this community, Erica, because listen, I'm going to make sure as a business person, I know you are as well, serious business women, we're going to make sure that we're getting the content knowledge we need from the Hey Ed community. But I also want to laugh. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy my workday. And I know I'll get that balance in the Hey Ed community. I know he'll tolerate our tangents.
And I think that's the perfect way to have a really good engaged community. It's a perfect balance of business and fun,